Hello, it's Crypto CJ. It's Trade of the Day, Friday afternoon / evening Zoom edition. And after some positive economic news on Wednesday from the Fed, meaning that interest rates were probably still going to go down at least 3 times this year, I mean, that pumped up the whole crypto market like crazy. And then Thursday was kind of hit and miss. And today we're down again. So kind of a bummer. It's a red day on a Friday. But let's look at the charts, see if we can figure out what's going on. Okay, should be seeing my Bitcoin 4-hour chart.
Yes.
All right, so Bitcoin's down about 4%, and I'm on the 4-hour, so I want to see if we're going to hold this zone, the bottom of the top zone that I drew in a little while ago. I took out my, what was that, Fibonacci extension, because it didn't seem to be relevant anymore since we lost the highs in the 70s, and it's probably going to take a while before we get back there. We're trying to hold 63K. It's been kind of bopping up and down there today, so not holding up that well. On the day chart, we're down just under 4%. So trying to at least hold 63K as a close. And I was on the crypto banter newsletter this morning, or email, and they thought holding 65 was critical. So, or maybe it was 63.5, but it's around this area. If we don't hold it, then could be going back down into the 50s. So, but again, 10 to 20% retraces on Bitcoin, not unusual during a big bull run, happens all the time. I thought it might be a little bit different with the ETF excitement, but speaking of that, we had the Bitcoin ETF back in January, but the Ethereum ETF, I'm not sure if that's going to happen. I've got this article here from the block. This was on the TradingView news site. It's saying ETF approval seems extremely unlikely. At least this person's opinion is. And it was already in the news that the SEC had sent the Ethereum Foundation some, document requests and subpoena type things. And if they're doing that in, February and March, then that doesn't bode well for our May ETF being granted. I think the SEC wants to classify Ethereum as a security. This could have a chain reaction through the whole market. So people might be getting a little twitchy about that. Otherwise, Ethereum did not have a good day. Yeah, it's down almost 6% on the day chart. So not looking good there. And Matt is chiming in on my chat saying 59K will happen. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. I even think it's probable. So that's the news in a nutshell. Anybody have anything to comment or add or wildly speculate to what I just talked about? If not, we will go to Altcoin Alert and see if we can find some trades. Very well. Let's go to Altcoin Alert, and we're going to look for day trades and swing trades with the information that we receive here. I'm on the altcoin radar setting. And the first sort I usually do after I refresh or reload is the AA score. And there was a comment in the Slack chat today. It's like, nothing's above 80. Can I trade anything? And it's like, you've seen me many times go down into the 79, 78 area to set up alerts on certain coins. So yeah, I do that pretty frequently, especially when we had the bear market and the consolidation in 22 and 23. I was doing that all the time. Now we're actually getting values above the 80. And this was not here this morning. Dusk Network, it's 81.3. And I'm hearing some feedback. So let's see if we can do something about that. Anyway, 81.3. So Altcoin Alert is saying there's an 81.3% chance that Dusk Network will go up 3 to 5% in the next 48 to 72 hours. And I'm going to have to get rid of that. background noise. Mute all.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. I've got everybody muted, but if you want to say something, unmute and go ahead and speak up. So let's get back. And all right, so we're going to look at Dusk Network with an 81.3% score. We'll look at this as a day trade and as a swing trade. There we go. So this is my day trading layout on the 15-minute chart using the RTI. Usually bounce over here to the 5-minute to see if we're in a 1, 2, 3 dip sequence. If you don't know what I'm talking about regarding the 1, 2, 3 dip, you should check out the email I send out on Sundays and Mondays has a link to a training regarding that. If you can't find it, email me and I'll send it to you. cryptocj13@gmail.com. Okay, on the 5-minute chart, we're kind of in no man's land here on the SMA line between the Bollinger Bands. So, but you can use this to set an alert. On the 5-minute chart, there's some pretty well-defined support here, right around 40 cents, 40.5 cents. So anywhere in here would be a good place to set an alert. Just right click, add an alert. And I usually use the information source for the alert name, AA score. And if you've been with me before, if you type in something on the alert name 5 or 6 times, TradingView will remember it. On notifications, I notify in my app on my phone, pop up on my computer screen, play a sound also on my computer screen, and just choose one that you like. The alarm clock's pretty obnoxious, but the others are okay. So that's how you do that. I don't do 5-minute alerts very often. I prefer indicator alerts on the 15-minute chart. And right now, this thing's just gone sideways for the last couple hours. Just bouncing around the 50 line on the RTI. This has been my favorite indicator to set alerts upon the last 6 months or so. Relative trend index, similar to the RSI, but different. And when I get a dip below 20, like we see here, and it breaks above, that's a good place to get in. That's a retrace and a recover. It's a dip and a retrace. And you can see we got, 5% move after that. So that's a great day trade. And, I'm usually on leverage, 5x, 10x, depending on the time frame. So I'm just looking for a 1 to 1.5% move on my day trades. So for me, I'd be at 10x leverage, say 1.3%, 13% total. In that scenario that I just showed you. So that would be a really good day trade. If you're if you're fairly new and you're trading spot on Coinbase, then you might look for that 3 to 5% area, depending on what the charts are showing. And I probably would have looked at this area here as first resistance, then the red zone. The bottom of the red zone is second resistance, and then the top, these 2 candles here, is my third option. I tend to choose the middle when I'm trading manually. So for me, I would have chosen this area here as resistance, and I would have gotten out right about here after hour and a half for a 5% gain. So that's really good. And that's an easy alert to set up. Right click on the RTI, add an alert. And if you're only trading longs, you're going to be only crossing up on the 20. If you want to leave it on all day, make multiple trades off this scenario. In a bull market, which I still think we are despite some setbacks this week, sometimes you don't get very many retraces all the way down to the 20, and I'll show you some alternates in a moment. Once per bar close, the alert name, again, AA score, and notifications. On this, I might go with a 3 notes reverb or a handbell, depending on how urgent I feel it is. And so that's how you do that. You can also set it to break above the 50 we had that happen here. It's a later entry, but better confirmation. And then I use this cumulative delta for confirmation, and there's a nice strong movement there. So I would have gotten in right about here. And it makes a move 3%. I probably would have tried to get around 5%. I'd still be in that trade because it dipped back. And I probably do an additional purchase or two and then wait for it to come back. All right, so that would be, instead of the 20, that would be a 50. And if you just want things that are pumping, you can go with the 80. And here's an example here of something that broke above the 80. It did real well. Yeah, I just put 80 here, and then I'm gonna get rid of this. It's kind of cluttering up my screen. And click create. Or you can do one of each, one on 20, one on 50, or one on 80. Or you can treat this like more of a swing trade, just stay in. And we'll look at the swing trade setup in a moment. But yeah, let me pull out my vertical line here. So here it breaks above the 80. It makes a nice move. A couple percent. Dips. Maybe you get into an additional purchase or two, and then it really takes off. So that would have been a good entry on that break above the 80. We have another dip above here, and it breaks up above the 80 here, and you can see that candle action. And then it dips below here, and then this one's kind of a fake out. It goes up again, and then goes sideways. So I don't do the 80s very often. If we're in a protracted bull market where like 5 days a week are going up, then this could be a good strategy to use. But not really today. I'd probably stay with the 20 or the 50. Okay, we just got an ICP alert. So when this happens during my Zoom calls, I like to show it to you guys and see how it let you know how it handle it. All right, so this is ICP's been pumping today. You can see it's one of the few coins in the green, and it broke down below the. This is a super trend. I'm sorry. What time frame is this? Okay, super trend is what I use on my day trade layouts, or my swing trade layout. I'm gonna pull up this alert. Let's see what time frame it's for. Okay, I don't usually set super trend alerts on the 15-minute chart, so it's printing a sell on the 15-minute chart. It's coming out of the red zone, and the Trendio LSMA, my moving average indicator, is just turned red. So these are all good signs for a sell. If you're trading leverage and you want something to short, this could be a good option for that. And I did that already on my day trading setup. It was coming out of here and it had broken above or broken below the 80. So I took this short already and I'm already out of it with a 13.5% profit. So so this has now come up twice on two different indicators, and it's pretty common for indicators to overlap. So sorry if that was a little confusing. I set an alert. I made my alert sort of incorrectly based on my usual approach, but whatever brings your attention to a good trading scenario, that's worth it. Okay, we were looking at dusk. We'd already looked at the day trading layout. I'm gonna go ahead and look at dusk over here on the swing trading layout. And again, this is going to be better for people who maybe don't want to day trade and be on their computer off a bunch of times throughout the day, like I am. I'm on my computer 5 to 10 times a day, sometimes longer than others. If you have a full-time job or a busy life, or you just don't want to do it, you may want to consider swing trading, which is trading over longer periods of time. And dusk on the 30-minute chart, a sell printed on the super trend this morning. It hasn't switched yet. So I think what I would look to do on this one is have it dip and then have it start to come back and get a buy signal. Look at my other indicators and see if they're confirming that move. Ideally, I'd want to get below this midline. I mean, this is obviously the better entry down here in the green zone. And so I usually hold some funds back. So if it does dip down here even further, I can make additional purchases and overall the trade can be successful even if you start with something going against you. It's called ladder buying. I've done a couple of videos on it if you want to check it out. But on this one, let's say the buy printed down here. There's nearly 20% to the red zone, and that would be my exit. That's where I'd be looking to get out. So I'm going to right click, add an alert on the super trend. If you're trading on leverage both directions, this direction change can be useful. I'm going to go with the buy on here. I'm going to leave it on only once. And dusk was an AA score, I believe. And then I'm going to go with, I use usually handbell for my swing trades. Click create and you're good to go. And if I go over here, it should show that alert is coming up. So, okay, I bounced around a few different things. Any questions on dusk or ICP? Okay, let's do a different sort. See what else we can find. So that was an AA score. Another one I do is social activity. I'll match that up with trading activity. And here's what you don't want: fire next to poop. So, but fire next to fire next to thumbs up next to thumbs up, that can be worthy of further investigation. I'll usually set alerts on those charts if they're coins I know reasonably well. Dusk we already talked about. You can also put a star. Select a star if it's something you trade frequently, so it'll stick out to you more. Like Phantom, I trade this a lot. ICP I like to trade. Solana, obviously. CFX occasionally. Maker. Yeah, those are, of the options I see, those are the ones I would look at to see if they match up. FTM is one of my favorites to trade. We got fire on both. Let's check out FTM as a day trade. Quick look at the 5. Looks like we're about to start a dip sequence. See how the Bollinger Bands are starting to bubble out here. It was bubbled and squeezed and bubble out again. So if you get 3 breaks below the Bollinger Bands with the green candles, usually when I get on a 1, 2, 3 dip on the 5-minute chart, that can be a pretty good entry. Hold some funds back to make additional purchases if necessary. But I usually just wait till on the 15-minute chart, see how it's about to dip down below the 20. It might go sideways for a while and then come back up. If it comes back up on the 15-minute chart, you can often go to the 5-minute chart and it'll look like a 1, 2, 3 dip or just coming out of one. So that's why I like to use this RTI to capture those dips and set alerts on it. So at the moment, we are just at the 20, haven't broken through, and I want it to break through and then come back and let me know when it's coming back. So again, alert on this. And if you want to trade both directions, I'll show you a different alert. We looked at the crossing up on the 20, 50, and 80. If you trade both directions, we're going to be entering a channel, 80 on top, 20 on the bottom. This is social activity sort. Notifications. This one I'd probably use 3 notes reverb and click create. I don't usually set long alerts on the 15-minute chart on a Friday afternoon, so I'm not going to set this one up. I'm just showing you guys how to do it. And yeah, click create and you're good to go. So when this dips below and comes back, that could be a good entry. Okay, on a swing trade, let's go to that layout, which just quick review. I've got support and resistance with the supply and demand visible range by Lux Algo, the super trend, which is alert friendly, and just like it sounds, it's trend-based indicator. Then my LSMA, which I use for confirmation. So yeah, this is similar to what we looked at with Dusk, in that I'm going to want this to dip and then come back on a buy, which is probably going to happen around here somewhere. And I'm usually looking for about a 10% move on the chart for my short-term swing trades. Sometimes it happens in a day or two. Sometimes it happens in a week or two. So I just tend to be patient on these, and I give them more room to move. So on my leverage, I'm usually at 5x, or it's a spot trade. So it's a quick alert. Super trend buy, social activity. I'll go ahead and set this one, and I'll look at it if it goes off. Now, another option, if you're on leverage, is to take a short over the weekend. You know, generally speaking, the volumes are lower than during the week. That lends itself to more negative moves. No guarantees on that. Sometimes crypto pumps over the weekend, but most of the time it goes sideways or down. So with that in mind, I usually set an alert to short something. On FTM, that's already gone off. So we're a little late on that. We could still set an alert on here if we wanted to short this one, sell, and the rest would be the same. So in that scenario, you know, it'll go down, go up a little bit, and then go down again. And that retrace is what I want to catch, and then, you know, probably ride it down to the green zone, 10 to 15% on a chart, if you want to short it. So I didn't sort this specifically for that purpose. We'll do one of those shortly. But any questions on FTM? Okay, so let's go ahead and look for a short. And to do that, one of my favorite swing trade sorts is the long-term sentiment. I'm going to match that with the Elder Impulse. The long-term sentiment is what people are talking about online, and it matches like today's activity with the last month's. And then Elder Impulse Daily is a technical indicator, and you can hover over these question marks to get a better explanation of what those are. I'm going to sort by the long-term sentiment. Instead of bullish, I'm going to look for bearish. So Atom is bearish, audio, those are two I trade sometimes. IMX, I trade that a lot. ETC occasionally. HBAR, ADA, yeah, KDA once in a while. Yeah, but you're seeing quite a few Didix I like a lot. Good movement on that one. CRV. So there's a lot of good options here for our short of the weekend. Let's go to Audius. I haven't looked at that one in a little bit. So if you want to do a day trade on this, just pick up a quick little, 1%, 1.5%. We're in the green zone now on the 15-minute chart. That's not a good place to get in. You want to get in usually up here from between the red zone and the halfway point. So I'm not liking that setup at all. So I think I'll look at this as a swing trade. See where we are on that. And yeah, this is better. See, we're halfway between the red and the green. What you could do, since the sell printed in the wee hours of the morning today, you could get in. It's not financial advice, but put in a small position now, then put in another one if it keeps dipping, and then either get out or put another one in this vicinity, because you got plenty of room to move on this. 10% to the bottom of it. Might want something that moves a little more. See, Dydex was an option too. Let's take a quick look at that one. Actually, Audius was better. So either one of these would be a short candidate. Maybe buy one now and then set your alert on here for a sell. So let's say if it goes up and then the sell, if it goes up into a buy and then dips again on a sell, you'd be ready to go on Dydex on a short swing trade. Any questions on that one? Okay, let's do one more sort. We've done long-term sentiment, social activity, AA score, and you can just choose one of these and do that one most of the time. I'm just giving you a few different options because sometimes something won't show up. Maybe all the AA scores are below 70. That's no good for a long. You can also sort this the opposite way. Yeah, like some of these lower numbers, but there's nothing showing as bearish on the AA score. There's a couple neutrals here, and then the rest are bullish. So not all that useful. You tend to get better short candidates from these other sorts. So let's look at short-term sentiment. And we'll go for a long on this one. We're going to match this up with Elder Impulse hourly. So I use this for day trading more than swing trading. And we've only got 8 bullish ones on the Elder Impulse, so we're not going to have many matches. Do you have XYO? That's on Coinbase. That's about it. It's weird keeper thing. And I'm not seeing any other matches. So we look at XYO and look at this as a spot trade on Coinbase. So we'll look at both layouts. Okay, this one's about to break up above the 20, and we're right in the green zone. So this one could be something to buy over the weekend, and with the idea that it should be coming back. But it hasn't had great comebacks in the last few days. So we have a break. Have a break here above the 20. It makes a small move. Really only goes up 1.3%. Buy again down here, minus 2%. Probably get out here. It's not that great. Though that'd still be a winning trade. And there's a bunch of times it just breaks above the 20 and goes nowhere. There's another entry. Kind of depends on where you get in. Got in here at the top. That's not going to be that great. 1% again. So yeah, here's a fake out too. None of these look very good, unfortunately. The RT, like all indicators, has its limitations. Let's look at this on the swing trade layout. But this has potential to move. I mean, it was up nearly 13 cents on the 30. Oh, this was up around 15 cents. Yeah, it's been up to 16 cents not that long ago, earlier in the month. So this has potential for a retrace. I like it for that reason. And then, yeah, you just set an alert, catch the next buy entry. Say it's like right about here. And, an easy 10% into the red zone. And then, on the 1 hour, 4 hour, you could take it up to the 4 hour red zone. Something like that. That's amazing, 50%. So I think I'd go ahead and set an alert either on the 30 or the 1 hour. Maybe the 1 hour. For the longer you wait for recovery, usually the more likely it is to be valid. And so this was social activity sort, notification, handbell on the 1 hour. Go ahead and click create on that. And you're good to go. So I think that's my over the weekend, try to get a low entry, spot trade for the weekend. Any questions on XYO? Okay, any questions on anything we've talked about? You guys have been very quiet. You just that mellow for the weekend? Okay, I see some new names here in the participants list. Okay,
so that trading view software you're using right now, can you actually trade with it, or do you have to go trade with a different software?
Most people don't. I don't trade with it. I do believe you can connect your exchange to it. Just never really gotten around to doing that, and I'm not sure if I would trust it anyway. But to answer your question, I just use these for alerts and to evaluate, technical setups on the coins I want to trade that day or that week. And then I go ahead and head over to my my exchange, Coinbase, or if I'm trading on leverage, might be BingX or MEXC or something like that, using a VPN. Yeah, so that's how I do it.
So you don't use crypto.com or Binance? Is that another one?
Yeah, crypto.com, no. I think the fees are too high for trading. It's fine if you want to buy something and hold it for a while and then, send it to your wallet, that kind of thing, but I don't trade on it. Binance I started with. That's why you'll see most of my charts on Binance, but they kicked off Americans, and then I was using a VPN for a while, and then they required KYC, and I couldn't pass it. I have a way to pass KYC on foreign exchanges. It didn't work on Binance, but it worked on some others. So if you and that's for trading leverage. So
yeah, it's frustrating when you get alert and then you can't get it from your exchange. You have to find out where you can get it at.
yeah, it is. And but I found, I wouldn't put a lot of money on it, but MEXC and BingX both have a lot of coins, especially MEXC. And so, if you want to put a few $100s on that and make some trades, I think that could be worth your while. Just to get the feel for it, I do need to clarify something I said on Monday. On Monday, I said I could access MEXC without a VPN. And when I tried to do that a day or two later, it wouldn't let me in. So when I switched my VPN location from Philippines to Australia, then it worked. So, but yeah, if you want to do anything really interesting or with more risk, you'll probably need to do it on a foreign exchange. So the SEC is not going to let people trade leverage on American exchanges, though Coinbase does have a limited leverage option. I haven't really looked at it much yet, but I looked at it briefly today and decided I didn't want to deal with it. But maybe eventually I will. Okay, any other questions?
Also, just to mention something,
Mm-hmm.
Surf Surfshark as a VPN, they have where you can get skip around and you can get multiple VPNs off of one trade. Because you can have it like start in England and it'll jump then over to the Philippines or wherever, but you get a double VPN. And there's some apps out there that don't know that it's a double like that, and you can kind of trick it into doing what you've been doing by just changing your VPN. But Surfshark does it for you automatically.
Okay, interesting. So Surfshark will bounce your signal off 2 different foreign locations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That does sound appealing security-wise, but speed-wise, I'd be a little concerned about it because I know running a VPN slows down my computer, so I kind of go back and forth on it. But and I don't have it on now during my Zoom call, but I'm trading on a foreign exchange, I'll put it on then. That's usually sufficient to access the exchange, but what Tama describes could be more of a security issue. Could be more valuable for that. Okay, any other questions or comments?
Yeah, I got a question. You're setting these alerts on TradeView, right?
Correct.
Okay. Do they go off on your phone if you're not right in front of your computer,
Yep.
or is it synced? Okay.
Yep. It's common for me to take a trade on my phone during lunch if I'm out and eating a burger or something.
Do you have to do anything to get it to sync, or does it just automatically do it?
No, if you choose, as I showed you when I set alerts, if you choose the, I'll just go ahead and show it again. So, yeah, if you're setting alert here on your notification section, it's the notify in app, provides push notification in the mobile app. So you do have to download the app on your phone for this to work, and then you're good to go.
Okay. You have to keep the app open all the time then, or it'll
No,
just open up and it'll notify you then?
it'll notify you whether you have the app open or not on your phone.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Well, I will wrap it up here then. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching on the recording, appreciate you doing that. Rather see you live. Check out the
I would like,
opportunities. Hello?
sorry, I was gonna say I would like to see if you see your thoughts on Coti.
COTI?
COTI. Yes.
Okay. I don't really comment on the validity so much or the use purpose on particular cryptos, other than to say I think meme coins are junk, but people tend to make money on them. But we will look at Cody on a chart. How about that?
Yeah, that's all I was asking.
All
Like
right,
I
cool.
understand the privacy stuff isn't gonna go anywhere in the States, but yeah, just chart.
I traded this not that long ago from a suggestion by one of my trading friends and did pretty well, though I had to ladder buy on that situation. But yeah, it was looking, it was a swing trade. I think I did on BingX or Bybit. And I think I took it around here. And yeah, it went up. It did pretty well. I was looking for about 10% move on a chart, and then the crater down here. So I took another purchase, and then it came up like this. So I got a small profit on my first entry and a really nice one on my second entry. And so that was a trade I took recently on Cody. But it dipped way down here in the green zone around 16 cents. And currently on the 1 hour chart, it's in the sell range. So I like this entry potentially. on the 30. Might go with the 1 hour on this one. So if you have this layout, you can set an alert or just add your super trend here. It'll come up on your trading view. Trading view indicators, if you don't want to wait or want to deal with indicators, the supports around here in this green zone, whether you have the green zone on your layout or not, I'd say around 17.5 cents to 18 cents would be a good entry. And then, ride that up to just under 21 cents would be my approach. And that's 17%. That's a really good swing trade. And quick reminder, right click on the super trend. You want to buy, and Matt's suggestion is my information source, and Bell. And there we go.
Appreciate it.
All right. Is there anything else you want to see on that, Matt?
No, you nailed it.
Okay. Very well. I will wrap it up here then, and hopefully we'll see you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend. Bye.